Hello, this is Jen Adams, or Ask Jen Live. Now, I'm coming live from the bathroom and even I can hear the echo. So I'm hoping this doesn't go too badly or is annoying. The reason I'm in the bathroom is I've just finished doing a skin meso treatment with a client in the Skin Health Club. And I just thought, well, I'll stay here because one of the things I want to talk about today is about products. And I've got a load of products, so I thought, might as well have the conversation. So I'm going to go live at 1. Well, actually, it's 2 minutes to, but I always like to be early. Thank you for the 2 people that are watching me live. I really appreciate it. Thumbs up. I've got my comments bar open here. So if you want to like me or make a comment, I can put it on screen. Let me know if the noise is annoying because I can actually move if this is a little bit too echoey. But anyway, so the plan for today, and there's sort of 3 topics I want to talk about in this little half-hour Friday afternoon live with Jenny in the bathroom. One day it'll be in a pub, won't it? That'll be nice. Wine bar, glass of champagne, served to me, cold. Anyway, joys of lockdown, strange reflective moments about the past. Anyway, so I hope everyone's doing well. I don't know about you, but the heart of February is often a tricky month anyway, let alone throw in lockdown as well. But no, lots to do. It's quite exciting. I've just placed an order for an LED canopy for clinic. I'm jazzing up the website and I've gone very much video based on the new clinic only website, which will be linking over to the members club. So that's always quite exciting. Let's get this right. The amount of websites I've created compared to skin treatments in the last 12 months is quite phenomenal. So I might have to recall myself a website developer, as well as a nutritional therapist and as well as a skin expert. But there we go. Every day is a school day. So it's 1 o'clock. I shall stop waffling. I want to talk today about too many products. This has come up as a question. Somebody was asking me about Biologique Recherche products and I wanted to touch on it because it was something that I noticed very early on when I went into these sort of live chats and started sort of opening the doors and having these sort of open consultations with clients, was I was realising there's a lot of product out there. And I want to talk about my professional and personal opinion of that. And as always, I'm only here to educate and to help you make your own choices. I'm not here to tell you what to do, it's entirely up to you. And I'm not here to tell you which products to buy and which products not to buy. There's plenty of other people out there doing that for you. I want to teach you about how to make the decision on what you purchase and what is right for you and your skin. I want to give you that information so that you can understand how to make those decisions rather than just be sold to. The other thing then is the overwhelm of that. And I got a thumbs up. Thank you. Is the overwhelm, because the thing is with overwhelm, and I talk about this a lot in nutrition, especially when we're looking at weight loss or things to do, is overwhelm actually freezes us in our tracks. If we ever get overwhelmed, we just do nothing. It's just bonkers because we've got so much opportunity, and what actually happens is we end up doing nothing. So I want to talk about overwhelm, and then my nutrition corner that I wanted to start introducing into these skin conversations, because that is my root, my core passion really, is this skin health, and hence my skin health expert title that I created for myself. Is I was having, again, another call, doing a treatment with a client, very good client that I've actually met, doing all of this in the last 12 months. Beautiful lady. She's called Melissa, so I'm going to give her a shout out. She's been a real rock for me, and I think I know I have. She's fed back to me that been really good for her too. And the relationship's moving on, and we're getting deeper into her skin. And we were chatting about the effects of PCOS. Now, in my nutritional world, I deal with a lot of PCOS clients, but mainly this link between skin treatments and nutrition is I want to talk about what you can do for yourself at home to help with the symptoms of PCOS. And again, it's very hard to just answer these questions that I get with like a one-liner. I want to just give a bit of a backfill to help people understand, and then you can go off and do all your own research as much as you like about what I say. But I just want to open up this conversation about PCOS because people that watch me regularly will know I'm a microneedling fan. I've been doing it for many years and I use it for lots of things. And one of the common questions I get on YouTube is, is it good for acne scarring? And and commonly I'll then dig a bit deeper and ask about the acne scarring, and it's often off the back of PCOS. So we have ladies in their 30s and 40s that have got this sort of pitted skin. So then yes, microneedling is brilliant for that. So it's this stepping back a bit. Let's look at how we can actually improve the symptoms of PCOS and your skin, and what you can do nutritionally, or what I talk about on a nutritional point of view. So sorry for sort of raiding a skin conversation about nutrition. Oh, hello Kate. Hi Katie, let me put you on my screen if you're okay with that. Biologique Recherche, and I love a lot of their products, but I know, I'm with you Katie. I'm going to touch on that. Some of you know I've been sorry, I'm fiddling. I can see my straps and it just doesn't seem quite right. Yes, Casey, I am going to talk a bit about that, and I'll give you a bit of a back history. So again, I'm open, so you can take what I say in context rather than me just answering that and going, yes, they are too expensive. They are an investment. Is a phrase that we like to use. It's an investment of your time. I think it's a bit, the sweeping statement or keeping you engaged. I think it's like clothes, isn't it? You have a couple of pieces that you invest in that do, like a good structured jacket or, a good pair of shoes. I was talking to someone the other day about the Louis Vuitton shoes. You have a couple. You wouldn't have, not many people, some people do these days, but, you wouldn't have every shoe as a Louis shoe. You'd have one or two favourite pairs, and we can deal with skincare in a similar way, funnily enough, or I do anyway. Okay, so I'm just going to go to my notes, because I make all these notes and sometimes I waffle on and don't really stick to them, but the notes I make are really quite good, so I thought I'd give them a little bit of the airtime. So too many products on your skin can make it worse. I touched on it last week when I was watching, I don't think it was Hot and Flashy. There was another lady that was doing fibroblast. She got like a load of red spots on her face. She'd been fibroblasting her face. She does all these treatments. She's not a professional. She does all these treatments to herself at home. And she was talking about, she was doing the whole to the screen thing. Oh, and then this product, and then this product. And she said, oh, I chuck anything on my skin. And I was like, I took a sort of an intake of breath. And I don't know whether that's A, I'm a snob, or B, I've got very reactive skin. I'm very fair, and my skin talks to me very quickly if it doesn't like anything, a bit like my stomach and my weight. It's very chatty, my body. It gives me feedback very quickly. But anyway, she was talking about just chucking loads of things on her face, and it made me think of a couple of clients, like I say, that I met at the beginning of all this lockdown, and I did a couple of calls for some BR clients. And the issue was that they call it a haul, don't they? You see on the influencers of BR, they have this haul of product. And they're like, oh, and then I've got this, and then I've got this, and then I've got this. And I was a bit like, so how do you know what works? Huh? So if you've got, I don't know, let's use BR as an example. If you've got colostrum, which every bugger in the world seems to have colostrum, which in my opinion means you must have psoriasis, because colostrum is brilliant for that. Everything else, your skin can't be that dehydrated that it needs colostrum, sorry, not colostrum. So you've got colostrum. So then you've got amniotic E, and say you've got extract tissue layer, and then maybe you've got some placenta. Everyone seems to have placenta as well. This is for healing, unless you're dealing with acne or acne scarring or that sort of stuff. Realistically, you don't need a placenta in your kit. Anyway, so there's basically like 4 hydrating serums. There's 2 lifting. I think how many quintessential serums are there? I think there's like 18 from memory. But anyway, I'm looking at these clients, and this one particular lady had 8 of these. I'm doing it to the thing now, which I said I wouldn't do. She had 8 quintessential serums, right? And in America, they get those little ones, which I was never able to get as a distributor. And she said, oh, I went in to see the lady, And I said, I've got dehydrated skin, and she gave me this, so she gave her another serum. I was like, right, if you've spent £3,000 on a Biologique Recherche haul of products, how have you got dehydrated skin? How is that physically possible, right? Because if you've got all these products, then surely this has solved the dehydration problem. And she was looking for more and looking for another solution and looking for another solution. And my frustration is twofold, is that there's a psychology to this that people that recommend these products really feed on, because we're always looking for this next amazing thing that's going to solve all our skin problems. But actually 9 times out of 10, you don't really have a skin problem, yeah? It's just that you're looking for perfection for some particular reason, or you're looking to improve something. So that's my issue with too many products. And then the other side is if you've got 4 different hydrating serums, and then you've got 2 or 3 different lifting serums, and then you've got some sort of firming thing, and then you've got your vitamin C that you're doing that as well. Oh, and then you throw a retinol in, and then you do that. And somebody says to you, you've got great skin. Who gets the credit? Was it the hydration? Was it the retinol? Was it the pre-prep? Was it your cream? So the thing is you end up then having to use hunting around looking for all these creams to maintain this skin, and you've got absolutely no idea what worked well. If you've got great skin, trust me, crack on. I'm not here to sort of, stop you from doing this. But if you're struggling with open pores, fine lines and wrinkles, if you pinch your skin and it doesn't bounce back quickly, if you've got a skin problem, seriously look at your skin haul and reduce it down to your skincare routine. We really need to just look at, a cleanser, clean your skin, whether it's an oil cleanser or a milk cleanser or a micellar water to get your makeup off. You're then looking at your targeting. Why don't we look at something to just target 1 or 2 things, or one thing, and then sort of improve that and then move on to another thing? Yes, a lot of people have lots of actives. Yes, you could have an active for the day and an active for the evening, fine. But this constant 2 or 3 or 4 different types of serums, always on the go, really? And then a cream, well, I've got a cream for this and a cream for that. The only creams you really need is a B3 and niacin to hold all the moisture in, and an SPF. Yeah, that's all we need. Anyway, I have a story to tell of the proof of this as well, because what also happens is, there's a lot of, not parabens have been taken out of these products these days, but there's a lot of products in there, I can't say it, can't get my tongue around it now. Thalidomide, I can't say it anyway. So there's preservatives put in our creams to give them shelf life, right? Even the best, probably not BR, but probably some of the best creams always have these products in them to give them shelf life. So my story is the lovely Linda, and she came to me and she was asking me about P50, and she said, oh, I'm not sure, is it right for me? Anyway, she's chuntering on. Definitely, sorry, I didn't mean to be rude when I said chuntering on. She's telling me, I'm asking her lots and lots of questions, so she's giving me the information. And she's clearly a purchaser, right? She'd got everything. And a real shag in relation to product companies. She was like a full range of Clinique at one end and Estee Lauder at another end, and, it was all over the place. And she clearly enjoyed purchasing these products, which, as I say, I'm not here to judge. If that's what you want, then that's fine. But the reality is what I want people to have a think about. Are you purchasing products because you've been sold to, and hunting for a solution that my job is I want to explain to you it doesn't exist, right? But Linda was buying a lot of product. And it turned out that when we could do this is when we could do it. I said to her, bring it all in. Bring it in, show me everything, because I'm not going to flog her something else if she's already got it in her kit, because I had a sneaking suspicion that she didn't really know what was in her kit. And no joke, God love her, she brought me this bag of goodies, and she said, oh, it's about a half of it. And I was just like, oh my God. So out it all came, right? So I didn't dare look at dates, right? But to be fair to her as well, a lot of it had been opened, but a lot of them were also 2 or 3 drops, not touched. So I laid it all out and explained to her exactly what it was that she'd got and which category it sat in. I loved it. It was so cool to do, because I was like reading all the labels and going, right, well that's that, and that goes in that section, right? That's anyway. The overall thing of this was that she was looking for something else. She was looking for an exfoliator, or a liquid exfoliator, basically lotion P50 she was looking at, and which is an AHA, BHA, lactic acid, a little bit of glycolic. What else has it got? My brain's gone dead. A bit of salicylic, and it is the perfect blend. But she was looking for this as a solution, and what I was able to show her by actually breaking down her pack, her goodie bag of stuff, was actually she'd got it. It was all there. It was all there, sitting on a bedside cabinet. But she'd got so overwhelmed with the amount of products that she'd purchased, she had absolutely no idea what she had. And then when I asked her what did she use and when did she use it, she said, oh, well, I use this, and like produce this sort of cleansing milk, like, you know, bog standard Nivea or something like that. But she sort of lost sight of what it was that she was trying to achieve with all of these products, complaining about blackhead and dryness, and had got, you know, I mean, I'm talking 20 plus products that she'd produced, and she was carrying 3 different AHA, PHA, no, they weren't PHAs, AHAs and BHA products. She'd got 4 retinols of varying degrees. She'd got 3 vitamin C's. We'd got 1 or 2 sort of multi-boosters. There was no hyaluronic acid in there. She'd got, what else was she got? There was a couple of firming bits in there, because she was worrying about a firming side of things, and that her skin was getting heavy. And then there was various pots of creams and things that I didn't really recognise and struggled with the ingredients. But genuinely, there was like 3 or 4 of each. And she'd lost the whole purpose of what this was. So I suppose what I'm trying to get at is 4 to 5 products really in a daily routine consistently, and see it through, see the bottle through. Because if you get an outbreak, or if you get a reaction from something, it doesn't always mean it's negative. It could just be a bit of a wiggle, yeah? It could just be that your skin's just having a little bit of a, what's that? Now this can be good, right? It's like doing a detox. You know, people feel like crap after 3 days. Yeah, the crap's coming out. So sometimes if you when you buy the products, buy it and enjoy it, if that makes sense, and try and see it through, one thing at a time. You know, one thing we could do in lockdown is perhaps have a look at your existing skincare, and you know, and really be brutal with it, and look at it and go, what have I got? What does it do? What do I want it to do? And how old is it? Right? How long has it sat there? Because if it's sat there for 6 months or more, you've got 2 issues. If it's okay, it's not very active, and if it's been there for 6 months or more, it's gone off, yeah, and it's not going to do anything. I don't want you all going out spending money, because I hate throwing things away as well. So I'm trying to prevent you from doing it in the future, I suppose. But the key thing is have a look at what you've got and utilise what you've got consistently. And when I say consistently, I'm talking a good 3-month skin cell turnover. Okay, allow your skin to absorb it, to mimic it, to enjoy it, and to move on. So that when you look in the mirror and you go, oh, I'm quite happy with my skin, or you get a compliment, oh, I like your skin, you can actually pinpoint which part of that routine has improved, yeah, and then you buy it again. And rather than looking for another solution or the next problem or another alternative, you will learn to understand what products work for you and your skin. And the great thing what that does is it helps overcome this overwhelm of having too much stuff and not knowing what's going on. Because once you know what it is you need to do, you'll do it. But if you've got 4 or 5 different products that are all saying the same things, trust me, they are all doing the same thing 9 times out of 10. You know, you do know that most of the bases from these products are all made at the same place. Big chunks of the ingredients are all preset, and all that happens is they're all white labelled, mainly by L'Oreal. Sweeping statement, please don't go crazy at me for that. But, you know, they all are all quite similar. So pick one, spend the time picking it wisely. Don't choose a cream looking for hope. Choose a cream based on what your skin actually needs, which hopefully I can help you with, and identify those ingredients that it is that you're looking for, I suppose, would be my sort of port of call, or where you want to go. And the other thing I always think about is, when I've been answering a lot of things about treatments, have been big questions, obviously with home, everyone's worried about trying to keep up with their skin treatments and things like that. So when you're looking at your skincare routine, be realistic, right? Your home skincare can influence sort of today or tomorrow skin, okay? And this is also similar to like what you eat and drink, right? When you're looking at treatments, and I talk about microneedling, radio frequency type treatments, that is where you're investing money in next month's skin, okay? So you're looking ahead. So your skincare, regardless to whether it's I'm going to say Boots, L'Oreal, if it's mid-range, off the shelf, or mid-range, or even top-end biological regime, all of these things, all they can actually do is influence today or tomorrow's skin. Yes, it can seep down a little bit, but it's how well it can influence today or tomorrow's skin. If you're looking at investing for next month's skin, as that comes to the surface, more longer term investment, this is where you need your trauma. So this is where you need micro skin needling, radio frequency. And the great thing about micro skin needling is you can push the product in, and that can influence those cells that are at the bottom or at that sort of pivotal point, the hypodermal layer, and those cells that can create them based on that serum that's been next to it, and they can come up to the surface stronger, right? So that's what that section's about. And then when clinics are open, when clinics are open and you're looking at next quarter skin or next season skin, that's when you're looking at the deep HIFU, where you're looking for lifting of your skin and those sorts of things. Because the thing is, I can't influence the skin cell before it's made, but I can keep the laxity and the firmness going deep in the SMAS layer. Yeah, so your skin's always turning over. So where you're going to spend most of your money would be in that midsection, where you're influencing the skins as they come to the surface. So you've heard me talk about mesotherapy type serums and that sort of stuff. But if you're going to spend your money, obviously, in your skincare, brilliant, that's absolutely fine. But going back to Katie's question, you don't have to give it all up. You know, for example, I've moved on from BR as a distributor. I won't bore you with the details, but that's just the way it is. I've had to move on. But it's opened my eyes. It's opened my eyes to realise that yes, it's Queen Bee, but actually there's some really good stuff out there when you break it down and have a look at the ingredients and what it is that your skin wants and needs. So I'll keep a P50 without a doubt, definitely. But I'll then move on to a targeted serum by my current range, and then I'll use creams from my current range as well. But I'm not going to have this huge fight about, well, I can't have to have everything that's BR based. There's some good stuff. I mean, Ordinary, apparently, I personally haven't used it, but I'm looking around. I mean, great quality stuff at a really reasonable price, Katie. So, have a look at places like that, because I believe I've only just rebrought that P50, right? So I did 6 months without any biological reishi products, and I've been putting BR products on my skin for 8 years. And I did 6 months, I think it was first lockdown, because they wouldn't fulfill my order in February. So that's how long ago it was, last year. So 12 months. And I'd stopped using all BR products, like full stop. I thought, right, I was in a grump. I was like, right, I'm not going to use any stuff. My skin was fine, Katie, it didn't fall off. In a way, it was a brilliant thing that happened to me, because it made me really look at what it was that my skin needed and what it was I'd been putting on my skin. And this is where it's enabled me to really break it down into this, it's all about preparation. Learned that at BR. And then the targeted serums in the middle, about keeping it simple, 1 or 2 issues max, targeted areas. And then just a very simple cream. I mean, I used to have, creme ADN, I used to have Metamorphique on the go, I'd have collagen and marine on the go. These are 150, 100 and 200 quid creams, beautiful. I mean, creme ADN, telling Melissa only yesterday, love the stuff. You know, but that's the way life is. We have to move on. So I understand what you're saying, but don't lose heart, Katie, because there are some great products out there. And then again, I'll come on to Melissa in a minute about this PCOS. You know, she's just bought that 3R serum, and a lady that I was talking to asked me a question on the video that I did about it. She was sort of saying when and how, you know, and Melissa has bought it for her birthday, you know. And I love that, because instead of her buying it thinking it's the next solution to a problem, she knows that at 200 quid or whatever it is, that's not to be sniffed at. It's brilliant stuff. It's amazing, but it's a boost. You know, you can't be buying that every day of the week. And she's bought it as a gift to herself. And I was like, oh, that's amazing. You know, it will make her feel good. I said, use it for 2 or 3 days and then go back to your normal routine. And then next month, use it for a couple of days and then go back to your normal routine. I said, because by the 3rd month, there'll be none left. Because there's not much in it, it's tiny. But enjoy every minute of that, and that's absolutely fine. And what was lovely, as I say, was that she wasn't hunting for hope or anything else. She knew it was a treat. It was like, oh yes, I'll have that. You know, something for herself. Be kind to herself, which is a thing I always talk about. You know, we have to be kind to ourselves. No one else will be, so we might as well do it. But that doesn't mean overspending on skin products, which is my other obsession, as you know. So anyway, that was all what I wanted to talk about overwhelm, not overly buying products, which was my big thing, that I was just sort of, you know, flabbergasted that all this big haul and, you know, problems still aren't being solved. The answer to your problem isn't in a pot of cream. Do you know what I mean? It's a bit more internal than that. But please do treat yourself whenever possible as well. And you don't have to have a full skincare regime of Biologique Recherche to have perfect skin. You don't. I've worked that out for myself and I've proven it, because my skin is, if not better, I'm much happier without it. It's not better, sorry, without it. I'm maintaining it equally at 1/3 of the price. So, Katie, if you want to get in touch, I'd be more than happy to give you some guidance, I suppose, as you come away from the world of BR. Okay, so the next thing I wanted to sort of talk about was my little nutrition spot. How long have I been waffling? Giving perfect, wonderful information, shall I say? Yes. So it's time to talk about nutrition. Now, as I was saying, I was chatting to Melissa, and she'd been managing, I mean, she's my age now. And we were talking about, and we've been doing the stamping together, and her skin has gone from being good to being like, absolutely, this lady's over the moon with her skin. Hence, the 3R serum is a treat rather than a treatment. So we were talking about the effects of PCOS on our skin, and obviously we were having concerns about the next generation, and that we were talking about if only she knew what she knew now when she was a youngster, and we were talking about weight and how PCOS affects our skin due to the excessive androgens and excessive estrogens in our system, which can cause the acne, which is why it comes into my world in the skincare side of things. But from a nutritional point of view, more often, or I think it's like 8 out of 10 clients will be overweight, or will be struggling to manage their weight, is probably a better phrase. Now, what I wanted to sort of share, or I suppose what I was telling Melissa, is how it's this thing where look behind, oh, I'm sorry, whoever's thumbnailed me down. It's about understanding what goes on behind PCOS and what it is that causes the acne, was where I was going with this conversation. And the thing was that Melissa was taught to eat little and often, or does eat little and often. And this was something that was recommended to her, or that she's picked up over the years, in relation to managing the PCOS. And what I wanted to get across in this little corner of my chat is the new, it's not new because I've been talking about it myself for a good sort of 10+ years, but actually PCOS goes hand in hand with insulin resistance. So if we take the skin condition, or the condition away, and we look at the etiology of it, of how it happens, it's an insulin resistance. So her cells are no longer resistant to the insulin, and it needs more and more. So they've been saturated in the past, and so they get drowned. So then there's like receptors on the edge that sort of keep it out. So what happens is that the cells become resistant to the amount of insulin that needs to be produced to remove the blood sugars from the food that we eat. And as time goes by, this becomes very confused. So what happens is your blood sugars will drop, and because your blood sugars will drop, you feel that you need to eat more food to keep your blood sugars up, because we're always told to keep our blood sugars up. But every time we raise our blood sugars, our pancreas will release insulin to take those blood sugars away. Now this goes on and on and on and on and on, and eventually everybody gets tired. The pancreas gets tired of releasing the insulin cells don't become as receptive, and you're constantly eating to try and keep your blood sugars at a certain level. So hence, in the past, doctors have recommended that you eat little and often. The problem is with that is it's keeping you in homeostasis. It's keeping you in the state of insulin resistance, which means you're keeping you in the state of PCOS, polycystic ovary syndrome, which means you're keeping you in a situation where your skin and hirsutism continue to be symptoms of it. So my advice to Melissa was the same advice I give to all my weight loss clients, and it's the root of everything that I do in nutrition, is 3 meals a day. So you need to balance your blood sugars, and to balance your blood sugars, you don't need to keep eating all the time. What you need to do is actually only eat 3 meals a day and have a gap between those 3 meals. Now, my personal program is 5 hours. I do a minimum of 5 hours between these 3 meals. Now, the reason I recommended this is because, yes, you need to eat. Yes, you need to produce insulin. But if you produce insulin in this short window, metabolize your food, and then stop, the insulin learns to drop back down. And then there is a period of time where your body is not producing insulin. It doesn't need to. So it learns to calm down. It learns to wait. It learns to sort of reserve itself, so that then when you eat again, your insulin will be released, and then it will pull the sugars out of the blood, put them into the liver, and then try to metabolize them. If you keep poking that fire all the time and insulin is constantly being produced, the cells become resistant, and insulin is a fat storing hormone. That is what it is. Now, of course, I'm talking about these insulin resistance. I'm not talking about type diabetes 1, I'm not talking about type diabetes 2, I'm talking about insulin resistance, which is a systemic issue in relation to PCOS, and then linking it to skin conditions. So that is a quick summary of basically of mine and Melissa's hour-and-a-half conversation. But it was something I wanted to share because there's a lot of talk about intermittent fasting and ketone diets and all these sorts of things. This is not what I'm recommending. I'm recommending that you just challenge this eating a little and often that you may have been told in the past helps to balance blood sugars. Because in my experience, this is not true. So when I'm dealing with skin clients and they've got bad acne in relation, and it's all under here, bless them, and the youngsters had a lovely young lady, got all on her back. Oh, the poor sausage. And I'm doing microneedling on her back just to sort of help get the skin cell turnover, and it worked really well. But she was saying the same, and she wasn't overweight in any way, shape or form, but she had issues with her blood sugars. So it's one of those things that, people ask me for an acne cream and I start harping on at the other end of the scale going, yes, but you need to balance your blood sugars. I know that this is a long way away from a skin cream in relation to balancing your blood sugars and only eating 3 meals a day, but it is one of the key factors that will help improve the symptoms of the PCOS. That was the point that I really wanted to get across. And that I'm not talking about going on to ketone diets and taking away carbohydrates. I'm not talking about intermittent fasting where you're doing 8/16s and all this sort of stuff. I'm just talking about, please don't believe that eating little and often is the way forward to balancing your blood sugars. And all I also, as I say with these things when I give advice, is give it a try, yeah? See what you think. It ain't easy if you've eaten little and often all the time, but give it a go and see if your symptoms improve. A bit like your skin cream, give it time though, don't just do it for a day and kind of hope that it's okay. You've got to see these things through. So that was my 3 things that I wanted to talk about. Too many products, cut it back, yeah? The answer's not in a skin cream. So that's what we've learned today. My advice, 4 to 5 in a skin routine, and obviously you can have an alternative one in the evening as a serum if you wanted to, but keep it really, really simple. Have a review of what you've got, yeah, have a bit of a clear out. If it's quite old, I'm afraid time's up, and you only need one product to do one thing, you don't need lots of them. When you're looking at treatments or you're looking at your skincare, try and work out where it sits. Is this today's skin or today and tomorrow's skin? Is this next month's skin or is this my future skin? Where is it? And that will dictate where you spend your money, I suppose, is what I was trying to get at for Katie. And then my final thing was about PCOS and looking at the nutrition side of things, about balancing blood sugars, which is the root of most evil, may I add, in my world. So thanks for those that are listening. Sorry for the lady that gave me a thumbs down. Must be when I was bashing BR, perhaps. Sorry about that. And I shall do this again next week. If any of you are interested in my Skin Mazo kit, I did a live session with my absolute delightful Natasha. That's on the YouTube channel. That was quite good fun. An insight into one of our treatments. It was personal, put it that way. It made me laugh. But anyway, look forward to, get your questions in, that's what I was going to say. Get your questions in and I'll look forward to answering them next week. I hope you've taken something from this one. Ask me away, give me some feedback, love to hear from you. Thank you very much. Bye bye.